Well, Wayne, this is the moment football fans love. First game of the season coming up quickly on Saturday. How are you feeling about the upcoming season, and what's the morale amongst the players like?
Yeah, I mean, excited, as you said about the supporters. It's a real exciting time for them, and it's no different for players and staff. You know, you've put a lot of work in for the last 6 weeks, it will be by the time Saturday comes around, for this game, and that's what we've been prepping for. So, as I say, the staff and the players are no different to the supporters in that aspect.
Season starts slightly earlier than usual. How's that been? And I know you're happy with pre-season, all things considered, how it's gone.
It's not really changed much. I mean, it did shorten the period that the lads did get off in their summer break. They were in, obviously, probably 10 to 12 days earlier, which, again, as a player, you don't really mind, as long as you're getting your preparation and your fitness levels in that sort of 6-week period before the season starts. And the lads have been spot on. You know, they've come back in real good shape, and as I said, they're excited for the Saturday to come around.
Couple more disappointing results on paper in the last two pre-season friendlies. Have you had time to kind of reflect and pull that apart, pick that apart?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're no different to any other team in pre-season. You know, obviously you want to win games of football. It breeds a habit, it breeds a mentality. But ultimately, the pre-season friendlies are about getting your fitness levels in, about getting your tactical information over. And if you do lose games or draw games off the back of getting what you need out of a game, then you run with it, because you're getting the detail that you want out of the game. You know, there's been teams up and down the country. You know, Northampton themselves have obviously lost a few pre-season friendlies, but ultimately we're prepping for Saturday. You know, obviously last year we didn't prep to win the game of football. We prepped to prepare ourselves for this coming Saturday, and that's what we did.
Tommy Smith's been missing for the last few games. Coles Goose wasn't there on the pitch on Saturday. Can you give us an update on those two?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Tommy got injured against Millwall, as did Ems, so they're going to be missing for a few weeks. And it was just, as I said to you before, we're prepping for this Saturday. So if we felt that there was any niggles and knocks and anyone with a no risk policy, then that's what the situation was with Scoop. So that's where we are with that.
And Tom Dallason's making his way back into the first team squad.
Yeah, Tom's been training today, last week. He played for the 23s on Tuesday to get some. He played for the 23s on Saturday to get some minutes under his belt. So it's just about integrating him where we don't sort of set him back.
And the rest of the squad are okay?
As far as I know, yeah. As far as I know, they're all, as I say, they're all looking good. And ultimately, as what we said before, this 6 weeks is about, as an individual, as a player, doing everything that you can to make my job as hard as it can possibly be, to leave them out. So that's got to be their mentality, and it has been. You know, they've been as good as gold.
Jamal George left on Saturday for Livingston. A few words on his time at the club?
Brilliant. I mean, Sham's been a real important member of the squad. He had a particularly good season last season, and the boy has got aspirations to go and play, you know, at a high level. So ultimately, we made no sort of apology that if we didn't really get the evaluation that we felt right for Sham, then he'd be our goalkeeper, because he still had a year left. But ultimately, we did feel that the figure was enough and was correct, and it allowed the opportunity for the individual to go and play at a higher level, similar to Brendan. You know, we've brought them in, we've developed them, we got them for nothing, and we've sold them for money. So it's good business. Whatever way you look at it, it's good business. It's down to us now as a football club to make sure that we get the right one in to replace.
You're looking to bring in another experienced goalkeeper then?
We're looking to bring in another goalkeeper, yeah. Okay,
and do you know if the money from Jamal George's sale will be put into the transfer budget?
I would imagine so, but again, that's not really a question for me. That's a question for the sort of recruitment team here. You know, they'll deal directly with the chairman in regards to budgets, what we can and can't do. But ultimately, yes, we do have to replace Sham.
And I suppose the other player that rumours were around was Noah Chilvers. You must be happy to still have him come the first game of the season, being sometimes it's harder to replace an attacking player compared to a defender or goalkeeper.
Yeah, look, I want to keep all my good players. Everyone does, but ultimately the nature of the beast. Sometimes you have to have a little bit of give and take. Noah is a real good prospect. He's a real good player. Had a real strong finish to the season, and I'm sure that there will be some interest for Noah. But it'll be no different to any other. If we can get the right monies in for our better players, then ultimately we don't want to deny them the opportunity to go. But at the minute, that's not the case. So, thankfully Noah is still with us. We've been working hard with Noah to keep improving him as an individual, and to try and get him back to the levels where he was at the end of last season to have a real big impact for the team.
And Northampton is the opponents. You're going to their place on Saturday. They were in the playoffs last season. How has preparation been for playing against them?
Yeah, it's good. It's always difficult in pre-season. First game of the season comes around, and you don't really know what way they're going to go, who they're going to pick, what formation they're going to be in. So, we have to adapt. We've done our due diligence on them, obviously through pre-season, where they've played a few systems with a different personnel, as we have. So it is a little harder to prep. It's not as though you're in October, November, and they've got a settled team. They've had a string of results, good or bad. And you can highlight strengths and weaknesses, but we've done that to the best of our ability. This game's no different to any other. We'll prep the lads in what way we see fit to try and get a result against Northampton.
I suppose maybe the first few games it's a case of seeing what happens in the first 10-15 minutes to see if they are lining up how you expected them to
a certain extent, but ultimately we've got to worry about what we're going to do to teams. We want to go and win the game of football, so we have to prepare and prep the lads to go and do that to the best of our ability. Last season we did that from game to game, and it's going to be no different this season. The most important game is always the next one. So after the Northampton game, the next game becomes the most important game, and that's what we're prepping for, and that will never change.
And you're happy with how you'll be setting up, probably 4 at the back and 2 up top, and I suppose the main question is what's in the middle? Again,
there's loads of if, buts and maybes. As I said, I'm not going to sit here in front of you and say my team. Or my shape. So ultimately, as I said, all we can do is pick a team, a formation with the personnel that we feel is going to go and have the biggest impact in the game.